Hello everyone, welcome to Naren Life with MS. This is Naren and it's time for Truthful Tuesday. And this Truthful Tuesday, I wanted to talk about something that I know I do myself. And I definitely want to know if it happens with other people with MS. Because one thing I do know is that it's pretty funny to me afterwards because I can work on it, but at the same time, I for some reason something just stops me from working on it, and that, of course, is the weird way that I stand, my posture. So I know everyone's supposed to stand up straight and all of that, but I think my posture resembles something more like a shrimp, if that makes sense. Uh, because one thing I do know is generally, when I start getting tired, I do know that my shoulders tend to hunch, and in hunching, I also realize that my body starts curving, and it curves to the point where my the top of my body kind of resembles almost the top half of a question mark, and my legs will also be a little bent at that point in time. So I pretty much resemble a shrimp. And while I try to stand up straight, try to make sure that I can you know gain a little bit of height alongside it, because I'm literally reducing my height by about, I want to say, 4 to 5 inches. I can't do that without proper support. And it's not so much that I don't try it. It's just that everything also hurts in the process. So weirdly enough, me being in my shrimp like state is painful, and I definitely feel a little bit of relief when I'm holding on to something, or I'm leaning against the wall and standing up straight. But once I stand up straight, it also hurts enough that I want to get back into my shrimp position, shrimp like posture, so to speak. And it's something that it constantly bothers me. And I know, and I definitely have tried different things. I tried a posture corrector, and the funny part is, with the posture corrector, oh gosh, this is funny. The posture corrector kind of did not stop me from hunching. In fact, it kind of molded to my body, and my body pretty much reverted back into the shrimp like stance that I have. So it's one of those things that it is something that I need to work on. I definitely, most of the time when I'm sleeping, I try to sleep on my back so that I have at least you know um, like my spine ends up being straight, because the rest of the time it's probably something like this, right? My spine is, in fact, it's not so much that it's only my spine. It's just that my body is crooked to an extent where even when I'm sitting down or doing something, like doing yoga, I usually am a little confused as to whether I'm making the right posture, just because I know that my body is not straight at that point in time. So I did want to ask this question from other people who actually experience this, where what do you end up doing to ensure that your posture remains a little as straight as possible, so that you at least look a little more human. You don't start resembling you know a prawn, for that matter. Because yes, it definitely is something that has been plaguing me, especially recently. Because as much as I try to remain straight, try to reduce the amount of strain that I'm feeling on my back, making my back straight at the same time also starts hurting after a little bit. So yes, um, you know I would be happy to get your thoughts, your um, comments, your insights, your experiences, so that I can maybe learn something. And of course, in the meantime, we can get a conversation started. And of course, with that said, this is Naren Sai with MS. I am Naren. And of course, here's wishing you good night, sweet dreams. And of course, I will talk to you tomorrow.